Good evening. It's my absolute pleasure to have you on board this evening. Now, maybe I should say, welcome back. I recognize you from, about a year, maybe 2 years ago. Yes. Well, please take a seat. I will be your personal butler on your journey this evening. The Articulate Express is one of our finest trains. The epitome of hospitality and luxury. My name is Matt, and if there's anything that I can do to help during your stay with us, please do let me know. Now, tonight's journey will be just shy of 11 hours. Now, while it's light outside, this will be a nighttime journey. So, all the necessities for a good night's sleep will be provided, and you'll find your cabin well appointed. Before we go any further, one of my most favorite sayings, I want to make sure that you're refreshed. And more than just being refreshed, I want to make sure that the cabin feels right. What can we do to improve the feel of the cabin? If I was to ask you, what's your favorite smell? You might reply with, I like lots of things. Maybe your favorite aftershave or your favorite perfume, scent of frying bacon, who knows? Okay, if there isn't anything immediately that you would consider to be a favorite smell, allow me to create something. And what we have here on my tray is a very wide selection of essential oils. And I'm going to pick lavender and sandalwood. And what we will do is just pop a few drops in here. Now this is an oil-based solution. Good. Beautiful. Good. And what we're going to do is just spray a few drops of this into the room. And a few sprays on your blanket. Appreciate the blanket won't be needed until later, but this little vial is yours to keep. 316 stainless steel and the finest smelling essential oils. Yes, I know this is at least your second time riding with us. Everything that we provide to you is yours to keep. Is yours to keep. Okay? Now, your cabin is smelling beautiful. let's get you hydrated. Now, during the course of your journey, I will be frequenting your cabin with a series of different courses, different flavors, and for example, the beverage tray will circulate at least 3 times, each for a different occasion. We'll start off by offering you a series and a selection of different waters. We used to offer one of the finest brands of water, but we only offered one. And we had the occasional customer relaying that, well, this is okay, but they would really prefer Evian, for example. And we go a very long way investing in our customers' satisfaction. We collect a mass of data, ensuring right down to the finest detail that our customers are having a good time. Not even a good time, but the very best of times. So let's get you hydrated. All of the waters here are ice chilled, but can also be served at room temperature. Okay? And the treats are coming, I assure you. Now, what we have here is a selection of refreshing and invigorating drinks. As is customary in our style, we'll talk you through each offering and why you might be swayed by that particular pick. The first offering is actually it's quite an unusual find in Europe and even in Americas. Picari Sweat. Arguably the least appetizing beverage by its name. But this is an ion supply drink. And what this means is that it's full of minerals, a whole host of healthy supplements for the body. Think of this as something to consume after you've had a busy day. A lot of electrolytes and overall health benefits. It has an unusual taste, but a very, very pleasant aftertaste. I highly recommend it. I first sampled the Picari Sweat when I was in Japan, and really thoroughly recommend it. Next, we have the Barakat. Now, the Barakat offering is a fresh, and I mean freshly squeezed, orange juice that should be consumed within at least 3 days. It is the very definition of fresh. It has a beautiful tang to it that just lingers on the tongue. Highly recommend. The larger bottle, and I should state that there is no limit to the order. If you like 5 Picari Sweats, it'll be made available to you. The Evian is just in a larger bottle, purely because we tend to drink a lot more of it. Perhaps the most well-known water offering in the world, Evian, the brand, is synonymous with hydration at this point, among other things, but you can never go wrong. If you're looking for mineral water that's healthy and has flavor, Evian's your choice. Now, something a little different here. It's a playful little offering that I think you're going to quite like. Also from our friends at Barakat. This is actually carrot juice. Carrot juice. very unusual to see this bottled. And again, this is fresh. This is not from concentrate. This isn't carrot flavored water. This is natural carrot juice with just a dash of sweeten in there. A little bit of sweeteners. Beautiful and surprisingly tasty. Very healthy. An excellent choice. Served in one crystal glass. Would you like ice? Of course. Quite a cloudy liquid, which is surprising. Enjoy. I'll leave the excess in your cup holder. And again, if you need a refill or a different drink, please do not hesitate to ask. We are here to serve you, to ensure your journey is pleasant and relaxing. Now, I think perhaps we should move on to the freebies. Just as Evian is synonymous with hydration, we like to think that the articulate brand is equally synonymous with generosity, a touch of luxury, and a customer experience that's unparalleled. With this in mind, it's with great pleasure that I present to you the Bose NC 700s. Now, at Articulate, we are always pushing the boundaries of excellence, at least from a customer satisfaction standpoint. The butlers could leave a little bit to be desired, but if you've flown with our airline, you may have found we issue the Sony WX series. Very reliable, very trustworthy, solid brand. However, Bose have brought to us this most recent product offering, and the NC700s are the standout, the industry flagship in noise cancelling headphones. 10 settings of noise cancellation, brought to you in soapstone coloring. Now, as always, I will pop these on for you. Good. I'll set this little button, and almost instantaneously, I will jump to a little microphone behind my lapel, so you'll still be able to hear me. No more train sounds. Now, part of our customer feedback, many people like the sound of the train, even if it's just a greatly reduced volume. So what we do is that while I'm here, we'll have the NC up to 10, so you can hear much more than just me. The vibration is zeroed essentially. And while I'm leaving you to your rest time, the train noise will be phased back in. You'll drop down to an NC rating of 5, maybe 6. Of course, it's customizable and you can change it to whatever you are comfortable with. Okay? I'm very glad to hear it. They're a beautiful, beautiful product. We've had some experience and I've been using mine extensively, and they're as comfortable as they are stylish, as they are revolutionary. A noticeable improvement from the Quiet Comfort 2s, which again was our flagship model for many years. But the NC 700s are our gift to you. Now, that's all well and good. You can relax, you have noise cancellation, beautiful seat, some beautiful food and tasty beverages coming your way, but how will you pass the time? We have one more gift for you that I think you are going to like. This is a little bit unusual for us as a train line to give out, but given that you are riding first class and you have ample space, and this product can be used sat down actually, which always surprises people, I give to you your very own to keep Oculus Quest 2. Now, in case you are unaware, the Oculus Quest 2 is the latest in virtual reality, or rather is the latest in wireless virtual reality. What this means is that you can slip this on, and from the comfort of your chair, completely wireless, have the two remotes in either hand, and just drift off to a new world, to become somebody, to be part of an adventure that seems so real because it's all you can see. I went fishing with a good friend of mine, and he was playing from Dubai, and I was playing from Singapore, and we were fishing in Hong Kong. We were chatting on voice comms, and it just felt like we were in the room together. The power of VR is really quite limitless. Accompanied with this, you will find a store full of prepaid games. And you'll have noticed this also comes with or what's called the Elite strap for added comfort. The Elite strap fits just snugly over the head, and for me is a market improvement on the stock version. I'll pop this under your chair for just now, and they can be played while wearing the headphones. Fear not. Okay, you have your headphones, you have your entertainment station. You're looking a little less parched, and again your cabin still smells remarkable. Now let's get some snacks, shall we? let's start with the savory, and then we'll switch to the sweet. And then I'll take your order for your main meal. Okay? Excellent. Okay. Now, if you're in the mood for some chips or crisps, as they say in the UK, it's always curious to me how we get this disparity of words between countries that speak the English language. But if you're looking for something salty, perhaps, I don't think you need to go much further than a very, very classic, but dependable, salted Lay's. Now, if you were to hail from the UK, you might be wondering why there are no walkers. And if you're not from the UK, you're wondering why would there be walkers on my train. Walkers, in the UK alone, is the branded name for Lay's. In every other country in the entire world, they're called Lay's. But in the UK, they're called walkers. It's the same process, same delicious recipe. These are a little bit fatty, very salty, but moorishly delicious. But not for everyone. There is, of course, if you can see them, salt and vinegar. Now this takes the traditional salted chip, crisp, and adds a tang, a bite, but surprisingly satisfying. Salt and vinegar is enormously popular in the UK. For me, I'm more of a salt guy. The vinegar's nice, but I'll leave it to one side. And maybe you want something a bit out of bounds. You don't want salted, you don't want vinegar. Maybe you want something crunchy, but spicy. Now, while Cheetos might not be considered luxury or premium, for us, luxury is just the tastiest, most delicious, most satisfying product. The flaming Cheetos, chef's kiss. You'll need another Picari sweat. Guaranteed. If you do, let's go for Cheetos. Let's go for the Cheetos. Okay. Consider me proud. Okay. I think I've burdened you enough for the time being. I'm just going to step out of the cabin, give you a couple of minutes to really settle in, sit back into the chair, and really let the world's worries and concerns float away. Alright? Again, my name is Matt. If you need me, you just hit the button. I'm never more than 20 seconds away. I am your private butler. I serve nobody else on this train. If you want something, you ask me and I'll get you it. Simple as that. Excellent. I'll come back again shortly with another round of drinks and maybe some energy drinks to kind of get us in the mood for your vacation or your business trip, wherever it is you're going. And to wash that down, maybe something sweet to follow the savory. And I'll also take your food order during this time. Sound good? Of course it does. This is articulate. Thank you. And as if by magic, the train levels recede. It's a clever little proximity software that we've added to the train. And whenever the headphones sense the microphone, the NC kicks in. How are you settling in? You look relaxed, a little flushed from the Cheetos, but happy. And maybe even more important than happy, at peace. Because when we're at peace, I think we're at the best version of ourselves. Alright, a little bit hungry. Good. Let's do the food first. I have a little basket of some really enticing little chocolate treats. And if there's something in there, or rather, if there something isn't there that you like, I would pretty much guarantee it'll be on the train and I'll find it. Okay? But I think you're gonna like what we have here. As is always the case, anything you see, at least food-wise, is yours. If you want 10 Reese's Pieces, they're yours. As customary, I'll talk you through the offering and leave you with anything you choose. And as before, if you want more, let us know. There are some delights in here. Let's start with the eye-catching. The Reese's. Incredibly sweet. Thick layer of chocolate. Smooth peanut butter. Melded together to give you one of the most popular candies in the whole world. Always a stellar pick. Now this is a miniature bar by design, because while the Reese's Pieces, or rather the Reese's Cups, are sweet, and they are sweet, let's get it right, they are not as sweet as the Milky Bar. This is white chocolate, folded with sugar, copious amounts of sugar. And it's small not because it's unhealthy, but because it's surprisingly filling. And it's easy to sicken yourself with a Milky Bar because it's a very intense white chocolate. Moving on to something with a touch more class, something a little bit more articulate. The Linden Swiss milk chocolate with smooth, melting filling. Now these little truffles are quite famous and quite well known. They have a velvet consistency, a crumbly chocolate casing, and the center quite literally melts into the mouth. I knew you'd be taking those. I'll continue on. Something a little bit more fun. Nutella, go. This again is a playful little dish. Breadsticks, sweetened, dipped into a generous portion of Nutella. Leaves you with a sense of satisfaction. It's a personal favorite of mine, though that could probably be said for almost anything we serve on our train. Bit delicious. And a fun fact, 1/4 of every hazelnut grown on this planet ends up in Nutella. It's that kind of popularity. Next is something you may have never seen before. A timeout. Now, a Cadbury's timeout. Cadbury denoting the Britishness of the chocolate. This is a thick chocolate coat with biscuit, wafer, biscuit, wafer, biscuit. And surprisingly moist for so much wafer. A timeout. I have a bit of a funny story to tell you about timeouts. A long time ago, maybe 15 years, maybe less, me and my two best friends were in Amsterdam, and we were doing as you do in Amsterdam and sampling the local delicacy. The local delicacy was not timeout. And after we finished sampling, we got a little bit hungry, much to our surprise. And we went to this beautiful restaurant and had the most delicious 3-course meal. Food has never tasted so good. And we walked back to our hotel after the meal. And on the way back, we popped into one of these numerous candy stores you'll find in Dam Square. Coincidence, there's so many chocolate stores in Dam Square. Not really sure what that's about. But this particular store sold confectionery from all over the world. And one of my two best friends happens to see a timeout, which he exclaims, "Oh my God, I haven't had one of these in ages." So he buys numerous. We all buy lots of confectionery and stumble back to our hotel. And this, I think we were in college at this point, so we didn't have a lot of money. We were sharing a room, and I remember my best friend lying at the bottom of the bed, kind of on his own bed. The room was quite small, so it was like 3 beds lined up against each other, but with one at the kind of bottom of the 2 beds. And he was lying there on the bottom of this bed. And my other best friend and I noticed how long he was taking to eat one bite of a timeout. So he would quite literally take a bite and didn't seeing the need for chewing. He would just leave his timeout in his mouth. And we counted, he started eating this one finger of timeout at about 4:30 p.m. The time he started is approximated. What we do remember is the length of time he took to finish. 48 minutes later, he finishes the last bite of one finger of timeout. And he hasn't said a word during this. And after the 48th minute, he turns to us and he says, "Anyone got any timeouts?" We started to laugh. We laughed a lot, and he started to laugh, and we walked back to get more timeouts, forgetting that he'd bought like 12 of them. I don't know. But we had a great time. So you're still on the timeout, right? Of course. Now, in keeping with something with a bit of wafer, the Kinder Bueno. And these are surprisingly creamy for as much wafer and even chocolate as they do. That beautiful creamy center. It's a delight for the tongue and delight for the senses. Rolling back again to something more of classical. The milk Linden, extra creamy. This is again that velvet we associate with the Linden. It's creamy, it's tasty, and it's fulfilling. Enormously so, actually. Big fan of these chocolate bars. I prefer the dark, but the extra creamy milk chocolates, another chef's kiss. Now, not forgetting our American cousins, the Hershey's cookies and cream. Now, we offer the cookies and cream because we find it has a bit more of a body. Some of the Hershey's chocolate is extraordinarily sweet. Maybe too much. Can be quite gritty, actually. But the cookies and cream adds a twist of flavor that I think brings a balance to the chocolate bar that sends it off nicely. Really does. The time out. And the other Linden. Very well. My friend would be jealous. Okay, now let's get you something equally as calorific to drink, because you're on vacation or a business trip and you deserve to do what you want to do. To be able to taste something, eat something without worrying, without having to maintain routine. Okay. I call this the energy round for reasons that will become very clear very quickly. This little offering, including the double espresso, makes for an interesting pick. As before, we'll talk you through the selection, and you can have one or all, whatever you like. Let's start off with the classic. Red Bull, still banned in some countries. I have always enjoyed Red Bull. It has a gritty sweetness that just tastes gorgeous. It used to be one of my favorite drinks, and I still drink it once every couple of weeks. Caffeine doesn't really do, and has never done that much to me. I just really like the flavor, especially the first 2 or 3 sips. Glad to hear it. Now the double espresso shot. That I mentioned. This is courtesy of our partners, Starbucks. And it's actually made with Arabica coffee, which is from my neck of the woods. And it's actually made with full milk, which gives it again a creaminess that a lot of these pre-made coffee drinks can't sustain. or hope to match? Sure. I'll pour this right away for you. And of course I'll show you the rest. Would you like ice? Okay, sure. Okay. Now, this next one is an interesting pick. The Oranamen. This is a high sugar glucose drink. And it's combined with some syrups, honey, anything that contains a remote level of sugar. This drink is incorporated into it. It's only served in 120ml bottles because it's very potent and could almost be drunk slowly and almost like an espresso coffee, actually. It comes courtesy of Japan, actually. It's quite popular there, but again is known for its kick. Sure. Again, catering to our American cousins. If you can see it. The Mountain Dew. Now, Mountain Dew is, I think it's a little bit infamous for its ingredients, its flavor. And the Mountain Dew is just, in the UK we would say dew as in morning dew. In America they'll say dew. But a very refreshing drink. And again, very well known in American history. And finally, steeped in world history, I think at this stage, the classic Coca-Cola, only 0 calories. Now what they've done here is attempted to recreate the magic of full sugar Coke in a far more healthy manner. We include it because some people want the buzz of the energy drink, but they don't necessarily want the calories that come with it. And we don't like to speak about calories, but we're just acknowledging the fact that some people are different and they like the option. Sure. To accompany the double espresso. No problem at all. Okay. Now I'll give you a little while again before I bring your main course back. Now let's pop you the menu. You would have a little look at that. If there's something that you like that isn't on the menu, please do let us know. Our chef can accommodate almost any culinary request. In fact, on the contrary, I think he rather enjoys the challenge. Him and his sous chef are some of the finest in the world, and of course, Michelin star. Are you sure? The burger? We do actually have a Hardee's on board. It's in car 6, much further down train, but we can have it brought to you. What would you like? Double cheeseburger. Okay, and fries. All right, we can't interest you in. No, not everyone is a steak person. Cordon bleu. Chef swears by it. Okay. Listen, we want what we want. If the cheeseburger's what you want, I'll have it brought to you. No problem at all. I'll leave you for a little while with your food and your snacks, and I'll come back with your food. think somebody ordered a Hardee's. It still has that beautiful aroma to it. I personally love Hardee's, so I totally get it. Sure, I'll just leave this here for you. Crispy fries without being too crispy, and a generously apportioned double cheeseburger. Can we get you anything else for the time being? Are you sure? Yes, I have an Oculus in my cabin, and I'll be online in about 3 hours. Sure, by which point I'll be relieved by my partner, of course. Absolutely, we can go fishing in Hong Kong. No problem. My pleasure. I'm glad to hear it. We pride ourselves in the customer experience. Thank you. Please enjoy your food, your drinks. If you need anything at all, you hit the bell. I'll be right here. Thank you for traveling.